So here are the answers to the MYP1 Unit 2 assignment. First of all, we had to plot some points. So I've made some graph axes, X going across and Y going up. I've put some values on to scale them. Perhaps I should have put a few more on, but it's basically 1 square for 1 unit. Then we've got the point A, 9, 1. So that means 9 across and 1 up. So there it is, A. Then we've got the point B, 4, 6. So that will be 4 across and 6 up there. Then we've got point C, minus 1, 2. So minus 1 means we go 1 back and then 2 up for the 2. And there it is, C. And then finally D, 9, 1. So that's 9 across and then 1 down for the minus 1. So there it is there. And we're joining them up to form a quadrilateral, a 4-sided shape. Then we had to rotate the quadrilateral anti-clockwise by 90 degrees. Well, I've used the origin, the center of the graph axes, as my center of rotation. So I've put the sharp point of my compass on the origin, the center there. And then I've taken the first point here and moved my compass around until I've gone through 90 degrees measured here. So from the original point here, anti-clockwise, 90 degrees takes the point to there. Same thing with the other points. So this point here, I put my sharp compass point on the center and then with the pencil move round until I've gone through 90 degrees measured at the center here, and then my point goes from here to here. Same thing with the next point, so sharp compass point at the center, and then the pencil from here, the original point, moving around here until I've gone through 90 degrees measured at the center here, and then the point ends up here. And then finally, the same thing with the last point, sharp compass point here, pencil on the point, move it through 90 degrees, and then the last point ends up in the right place, and you end up with the shape there. The next thing was to reflect the shape in the x-axis. So the x-axis is this line here with the x values on. So you've got to imagine that that's a mirror line. So all of the points end up exactly as far away on the other side from the x-axis. So this point here ends up over here. This one that was under the axis ends up over it. This one ends up here. And this one ends up the same distance away here. So in fact, the shape and its reflection cross each other over, but that's okay. Then we had to calculate some angles and state the rules we were using to calculate them. So we had 2 parallel lines. So 2 parallel lines are important there. We had 119 degrees there. And we had 2 lines crossing over, kind of making an X shape. So that's vertically opposite angles, which means that the A is the same as the 119 degrees. So A is 119 degrees. The next one, B, so we had angles inside a kind of C shape, and the rule is that they add up to 180. So if one of them is 119, the other one must be 180 minus 119, 161. So that's called interior angles. And then the last one, we've got a kind of F shape. So the angle C under the second line in the F is the same as the 119 under the top line in the F, because the 2 lines in the F are parallel to each other. So that's corresponding angles, and it's 119, the same as the original one. Okay, then we had the area of a trapezium. Trapezium is a shape with 2 parallel lines. or two parallel sides, I should say, and then two non-parallel sides. So the formula for the area of that is a half a plus b h, a half times a plus b times h. The a and the b are the two parallel sides, so that's the 2 and the 7, and the h is the height of the whole thing, so that's the 4. The 5 that I put in here was actually irrelevant. It was there to throw you off the trail a little bit, so it wasn't relevant to working out the area. So a half times a plus b times h, a half times 2 plus 7 times 4. 2 plus 7 is 9. We have to do those brackets first. So it's a half times 9 times 4, which is 18. And that's in centimeters squared. So the next question was about finding out the volume of a house. First of all, I filled in some missing information. So we've got 3.5 meters here because it's 9 here. Then this bit's 5.5. So 9 minus 5.5 gives you 3.5. And then the height here is 3 because it's the same as this bit over here. So I broke the problem down into 3 problems. First of all, I worked out the area of this red block, 10 times 3.5 times 3. Then I worked out the volume of this block here, and that's 3 times 4 times, well, all the way along, it's 9, same as up here. So 3 times 4 times 9 for that block. Finally, the block at the top here. Now that's a triangular prism because it's got a triangle on the end. It's the same all the way through. So it's basically the area of the triangle times 9. So the area of the triangle is half times base times height. So that's 0.5 times 4 times 2 because the base is 4, same as here, and the height is 2. Okay, so the area of the triangle is 0.5 times 4 times 2, and then the whole thing goes through a length of 9, so times 9 to find out the volume. So we've got 3 separate brackets, each working out the volume of a little section of the house. When you work those out, they come to 105 plus 108 plus 36. So that makes the whole volume 249 meters cubed. That's in cubic units because it's a volume in 3 dimensions.